Could it be that we are accomplices of our own predicaments? Could it be that we are the very ones fighting what we want? Let that sink in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mode Channel. My name is Boakye, and you are welcome to the Mode Channel, a channel where we don't promise quick fixes or quick results. All that we do is talk about important stuff, things that really matter. You see, this concept of self-sabotage is something that is truly confusing and it's very tricky to talk about. Self-sabotage is something that requires one to take responsibility or have some sense of accountability for whatever he's doing or have a sense of accountability. Self-sabotage creeps up on us in a very mysterious way. It starts with a little bit of procrastination here and there, a little bit of fear, or telling yourself you are not ready, until you find yourself pulling away from the very thing you wanted. Isn't it confusing that some people say they want to laugh? However, they find themselves pushing away everybody. Isn't it baffling that some people say they want peace, but they always find themselves fighting everybody or being in conflict zones, being in conflict with everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, self-sabotage is like pressing on the brake pedal and wanting to accelerate. These actions are not correlated. Self-sabotage is like wanting something, however, doing everything possible not to get what you want. And this is something that is truly confusing. It becomes very difficult to talk about because now you have to tell the individual or you have to tell the person that you are the one at fault. You are the one solely responsible for where you are now. You see, over the years, I've been contemplating, maybe our victims are not all victims. Some of them are accomplices. You see, it takes a lot to be a victim. It takes a lot of helplessness. But have you asked yourself whether you were really helpless? Have you asked yourself whether you did nothing to contribute to your current situation now? Ladies and gentlemen, the act of self-sabotage is very real, and it is something that so many people are doing to themselves without even noticing. So the next time you tell yourself you want to be financially free and find yourself spending lavishly and senselessly, you have to know and be aware that you are self-sabotaging yourself. Self-sabotage is something that humans have done for a long time. Self-sabotage actually comes from our beliefs and how we see ourselves. And usually these traits are built from our subconscious. We tend to be around people who say this is not possible, this is not something you can do and all that. Unfortunately, we pick up on those beliefs. As the saying goes, your friend circle is going to determine a lot about you. One way or the other, being surrounded by people who spend lavishly is going to cause you to spend lavishly. And at the end of the day, even if you have a belief or if you have something you want, like financial freedom, a goal that you've set ahead of you, there's no way you can accomplish it. Because in your subconscious, you've been built to sabotage certain things like that through your actions. So recently, I heard a story where a man was asking for help. Then he met a generous guy who told him he's actually going to help him by providing him with a source of income, fixed source of income, employment. And this man said he doesn't want to be employed. He wants to be where he is. So will we call the man who is asking for help a victim or an accomplice? You see, being an accomplice takes a lot of action, and it takes a lot of inaction to be an accomplice. However, being a victim is more about helplessness. But have you asked yourself whether you were truly helpless when getting into this situation? Most of the things we are going through are actually acts of self-sabotage. Not that we are victims or not that we are actually suffering or anything. Most of the things we are going through is an act of self-sabotage. And it is high time we admitted and started working on some of these behaviors of ours. When it comes to procrastinating, when it comes to fear, when it comes to saying we are not ready to do stuff and later finding ourselves not touching on it. This is something that is called self-sabotage, and it's something that we have to truly work on if you want to be successful. Being goal-driven or being success-oriented requires you to have an action that correlates with what you want, an action that speaks volumes of what you really want to achieve. And this is something that we have to admit. You can't say you want to be successful and sleep 24/7. You can't say you want to be financially free and spend lavishly. You can't say you want to gain financial freedom and not know anything about financial education, not know anything about investment, not know anything about savings. However, spending lavishly and all that. Doing otherwise or doing something different from what you truly want, it does not correlate and it's going to cause you to miss the track. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mood Channel. My name is Boakye and I'm glad to bring you another information. If you enjoy contents like this, subscribe and click on the notification button to enjoy updates on any future uploads. Thank you for watching. Till we meet again.